Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to CBS News, police in Belfast, Northern Ireland, deployed water cannons during a second consecutive night of violent anti-immigration protests. The unrest was triggered by a brutal street stabbing on Monday that left Stephen Ogilvie, a local man in his 40s, seriously injured and blinded in his left eye. Masked demonstrators rioted in working-class neighborhoods, tearing bricks from walls, smashing sidewalks with sledgehammers, hurling objects at riot police, and torching homes and vehicles. Over 24 people have been left homeless. The suspect, 30-year-old Hadi Eloded from Sudan, entered Northern Ireland from the Republic of Ireland in 2023 under an asylum permit. He appeared in court on charges of attempted murder and was ordered held in custody. Despite calls for calm from political leaders and Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who condemned the sickening attack and vile street violence, tensions remain high. The victim's family also pleaded for peace, stressing that the violent unrest is not welcome and warning against using the tragedy to fuel racist hostility. Authorities have called in reinforcements, and public transit services were suspended early in anticipation of further protests. According to a report by Tysound citing The Wall Street Journal, generative AI giant OpenAI is considering drastic price cuts for its ChatGPT token fees to win over users from its rival, Anthropic. This potential price war comes at a time when enterprise clients are increasingly pushing back against the soaring costs of AI tools. With companies like Uber already exhausting their annual AI budgets. However, slashing prices could severely squeeze profit margins for both OpenAI and Anthropic, both of which are already losing billions of dollars due to immense computing costs. The two tech firms recently filed confidential IPO applications, with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman aiming to go public within the next year. Meanwhile, Anthropic's valuation briefly surpassed OpenAI's for the first time, driven by the massive success of its coding tool Claude Code, prompting OpenAI to prioritize its own coding competitor, Codex. According to Italy Knows, or NNN, the main tower of Spain's iconic Sagrada Familia, known as the Tower of Jesus, was completed on June 10th, standing at 172.5 meters tall. To mark this milestone, a commemorative mass was held on the same day, which also marked exactly 100 years since the death of the basilica's legendary architect, Antoni Gaudi. The mass was attended by Pope Leo X and thousands of Catholic faithful. During his address, Pope Leo X strongly condemned the ongoing global conflicts, stating, "One cannot believe in Jesus while promoting war." He reiterated his firm opposition to war amid rising international tensions, including the invasion of Ukraine and the situation in Iran. While the completion of this central tower is a major step forward for the unfinished church, construction continues. The Sagrada Familia is currently planning the construction of its main entrance, and the entire basilica is estimated to be fully completed in about 10 years. According to a report by Keir, a South Korean appeals court has delivered a landmark ruling recognizing a same-sex union as a domestic partnership analogous to de facto marriage that is entitled to legal protection. The Seoul Central District Court overturned a lower court's decision, ordering a third party accused of having an affair with the plaintiff's partner to pay 10 million won, approximately 6,500 miners, in damages for alienation of affection. The plaintiff and her former partner had lived together since 2019 and built an economic partnership. However, their relationship collapsed after the partner became involved with a workplace acquaintance. The court ruled that although same-sex marriage is not legally recognized under current laws, their domestic partnership still constitutes an interest that merits legal protection. This decision marks the first time a lower court has applied a 2024 Supreme Court precedent regarding state health insurance eligibility for same-sex partners. While LGBTQ advocacy groups welcome the ruling as a significant step forward, they emphasized that such piecemeal judicial protections are no substitute for full legislated marriage equality. Reporting from Bogotá, Sinuanet notes that Colombian President Gustavo Petro has officially requested that former U.S. President Donald Trump refrain from interfering in the country's ongoing presidential election campaign. The demand follows Trump's recent public endorsement of right-wing candidate Abelardo de la Espriella, who is set to compete against the governing coalition's candidate Ivan Cepeda in the upcoming June 21 runoff election. President Petro stated on the social platform X that Colombian law strictly prohibits foreign interference in domestic elections, specifically citing concerns over foreign funding or disinformation campaigns intended to influence the voters' will. Petro emphasized that the election is a matter for the Colombian people to decide independently. He reaffirmed the commitment of whoever wins the election to maintain the long-standing diplomatic friendship between Colombia and the United States, while firmly asserting that the sovereignty of the electoral process must be respected. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.